Sam. It's very Symphony of the Night-like. This game's called Timespinner. There are a few things specifically different, but a lot of it's straight up directly out of there. I'm playing a new game, a relatively new game. My map's not very filled out. This is the whole map I've uncovered so far. Not very much. But I'm playing a New Game Plus where you keep your old gear and stuff, but the difficulty I'm playing on restricts your level to level 1. Now, this seems like a huge penalty, but it's really not. I've played this is like my third or fourth New Game Plus, and you pick up health and mana boosts as you go, and those stack, and you keep those when you do another new game on the same save file. And all of your gear, like your weapons, have a level that determines their damage. Different types of orbs do different attacks, just like equipping different weapons on Alucard, you know. But in this, there are a lot of different varieties. Anyway. But instead of them going up with your strength or anything, they go up slightly with character level, but mostly from killing enemies with them. But the thing about how they level up is it's total number of enemies killed instead of the amount of experience an enemy gives. So necessarily on your first playthrough you end up with your character level going up quickly because everything, you know, you're killing new monsters, they give you more experience. But your orbs go up about the same amount any difficulty or any time you play because it's just the number of enemies killed. I'm fairly early in the game, so I don't have any of the cool power-ups, but most of the ones I need for now, I think. The dive underwater, dash fast, and a couple different orbs, all my orbs from my other games. The one I'm using right now is the blood orb, which puts out these little projectiles, and they do multiple hits. Lower damage, but I have it set up so it also gives me health back when I use that, so it's cool. Much like Symphony of the Night again, you can see I've got a little familiar. Lots of little lore things. Oh yes, of course. Reading about the political situation on the planet you're on, and blah blah blah. Now, there's no direct healing ability you have. Again, just like Symphony of the Night, there's some life-stealing things you can do, and one of your familiars, the sprite, will periodically heal you, which is just like the fairy in Symphony of the Night. But you have plenty of usable items, mostly food like, you know, I don't know, a fried chicken. Into some meat here. One of the things, like the title thing for Timespinner, is you have this ability to freeze time, and in the context of the story your character actually does some weird stuff with time, just in progression and whatnot. But for your character ability, it makes most things in the world stop moving, but they also become invulnerable while they're frozen. But usually use it for positioning. Like, if you're about to get hit by a boss, you can freeze time, move to the other side of them, and then continue. I haven't even been using spells. Every orb has a spell variant that does special attacks. I'm really being careless here. The game has quite a few plentiful checkpoints, and save points restore your health, just like in Symphony of the Night. So I tend to not care if I'm getting hit a lot. Yeah, there's one right there. Heals you as you stand on it. So far this has just been pretty normal stuff, right? So I figure probably ought to collect another beverage as per the arrangement we discussed. But honestly, I'm gonna get more critical the drunker I get. Really ought to play a harder game for this, I guess. Really like the Radiance Orb. Huh. The blood orb and the ring I'm using that's attached to it, you can see it healing me per hit. Successful hits heal you for some amount. I don't know how much, really. It seems to always be like 3 or 4 now. The passive ability from the ring, though, levels up along with the combat of the weapon form. That's what I'm looking for. When you're using it as a weapon, it levels up. So you have a weapon version for melee attacks, then a necklace that casts spells, and then a ring that gives you some magic effect, like restores HP over time. Spells cost less. The one I'm using now is absorb health when you hit an enemy. Now, healing for 3 or 4 is actually total trash most of the time, but it's constant, and I really don't know what the level cap of the orbs is. I heard there was no cap, but I bet it's high, and people just haven't hit it. I say heard. I read on the internet, you know. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to read a lot on the internet when I've been playing a game for a while. About how other people feel about it, and where people struggled. Or if I'm having, you know, a particularly hard time. Just look it up. It's fine. Is this not so Symphony of the Night? I think I'm gonna do plasma orbs. Maybe a plasma and a gun orb. The gun is a blade type for some reason. I don't know why. But it has very long range, penetrates shields, but can't shoot point blank, and it's kind of slow. The plasma orb is this lightning bolt thing, and it's just good. Low damage, but it seeks out enemies. Yeah, that's not doing it. I always forget to use the spells because I just don't need them right now. I feel like the normal abilities are good. Like, that's all you need. Blood Orb, man. Ah, boss fight. Sexy vampires, or not vampires, they're demons. Mm. I did mention this is like my 4th playthrough of the game, so all my orbs are pretty high level. Boss fights don't last too long. No, not weak against that though. Ah, there. Really weak against the light magic, huh? Whoa. Whoa. Come on. Yeah, that was a little trickier than I thought it was going to be. And how attractive. Haunting. And this is the point where the game changes. Everything after this is just so much better. Not because of the story stuff. The story stuff's good, and it is interesting. But this is the point in every game in this genre that really changes your life. You get a double jump. You're always waiting for the double jump. Oh, so satisfying. And now you can go anywhere pretty much. Like, I'm liberated, freed. Everything's easy to navigate. Whoa. My dogs are both staring at me like I'm the fucking devil. They need something desperately at this very moment. Any moment now, the world is gonna end. Oh. What? Oh gosh. I gotta let these dogs outside. We're gonna lead some stuff.